was gangster at the top of the list. Then I played my old shit, it went something like this. Cruising down the street in my 6'4".
Don't wanna make excuses, but this is how it is. What's the use unless we're shooting? No one notices the youth. It's just me against the world, baby.
Me against the world.
If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. Hit me. Girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, and a bitch ain't one. You crazy for this one, Rick? It's your boy.
I feel like, to an extent, one can say black music is more so music that caters towards black people, but then you're hit with the counter argument of, non-black people making music that caters to black people. It doesn't really...
Music that caters to a black community that doesn't necessarily prohibit people that aren't explicitly black artists being able to make so-called black music.
Definition of music that is catered towards a black community. The black community, I think, can include African cultures, Caribbean cultures, African American, a wider range than this.
Music that was inspired by black culture.
A variety, not just in America, but of different countries as well.
I guess it's music that a lot of black people associate with, and usually it's created by black people. So
black music is music created by black artists.
Like soulful, just something that has like a lot of meaning to it.
Mostly caters towards black people.
Like a lot of rap music is by black people. Like reggae, Bob Marley.
I would say it has to be authentic. So not only does it have to cater to black people, but for me personally, I would prefer if it was made by a black person, because there's...
Music is rap and hip hop.
Okay. Michael Jackson?
Well, the first thing I think of is hip hop. Drake right now, I guess he's the biggest person out right now.
Black in America is a lot of things. You can't really define it or localize it to, a ghetto or a suburb. It's more so along the lines of just a lifestyle as a whole.
It's Kanye.
Well, black music in America, I think of course, like the current hip hop artists, Rihanna, Beyonce.
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 Yeah.
Beyonce.
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 Yeah.
World, stop. Carry on.
Black music as a whole, I think of the music that I listen to, which includes like Popcorn, Michael Montano, Vibes Cartel.
Any rap artist, I guess.
Kanye. I guess like Kanye West.
Hootie and the Blowfish.
Like pop.
Country.
Like some country.
Country pops in my head. Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift?
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
Is it okay? Yes. Not without dangers or complications, though.
I think it's okay if that's where it originated from. I guess Spanish is like in a different category because that truly did. But like I feel like anyone can produce what's like known as black music nowadays, or even white music. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, for sure. Music is what defines culture, is what defines a lifestyle, it's what defines who you are, gives you an identity.
It's nice to know where music comes from, who inspired these kinds of music, and who this music is for.
I think it's okay. Well,
I think it's okay to classify it that way, but generalizing the audience of it, like just assuming that all black people listen to black music and only white people listen to white music, is wrong.
I do not think that it's okay to classify it by that. Maybe just in America you can, but I know that like if you were to think about it globally, like it's not going to work the same if you were to say, oh, my music appeals to all the black community. Well, the black community in the Caribbean or South America, like, they listen to completely different music.
No.
Why?
I think music is more about the feeling it gives you and the stories being told behind the music than the color of the person making the music.
I think we could do a better job of that being like the first thing we think of.
It's good to classify music as like in different ways, like representation in society matters. So having something that belongs to you can be like really inspiring.
So I think it's okay to say, but there are probably better ways to say it.
Would? Yeah, just because people who don't fit like the target audience for some music might feel less inclined to listen to that kind of music.
By definition, it does. Whether that's a bad thing or not, though, I'm not quite so sure.
Definitely.
Well, I think even if you didn't have a label, people actually think about it anyway. So you may not say it, like when someone says Taylor Swift, you may not say, oh, that's white music, technically, but you kind of understand that, oh, generally it's more white people that will listen to it instead of like the regular black population.
I don't know if I would say it creates a divide because I know so many white people who solely listen to like rap music or black artists.
I think it creates a divide between people in certain cases.
I would say that divide doesn't necessarily come from the culture itself, more so I guess the authenticity of whoever it is within the culture.
Yeah, it creates an unnecessary divide.
I think it probably divides people.
I think it can because people do tend to find friends with similar interests, and by labeling it as such, you're already creating that line saying, oh, my music caters towards the black community, and if another person is like, oh yeah, I like the black community's music, you know, that already draws that person to another person.
I don't think music itself has color, but I think that over time we've grown to associate certain sounds with certain cultures. And
Sure. I feel like the music, the genres, how it sounds, the tonality, it kind of gives off a culture of a specific race.
Yeah, of course music has color.
I think it does have a color. And again, I think it's based on the artist mainly.
Sure, yeah. I mean, any form of culture has racial and other cultural aspects that are intrinsically tied up with it. So music is just like any other form of culture in that sense.
I don't think it should, but I think that stereotypes have kind of like been ingrained in my brain.
Nah, I wouldn't say music has a color, so to speak.
I think it shouldn't, but I think it does.
No, to me it doesn't.
I don't think it has to. I think it usually comes along with something, but like I listen to so much diversity.
Boring adult contemporary 90s music.
If I were to associate with I guess like a race, white.
There's different types of rock and roll because, you know, I listen to blues a lot, and that's stereotypically people would think that's a black culture, but also I associate it with the culture of like the 70s and 80s.
The way that rock and roll is presented, or not necessarily presented, but the way it's supposedly made stems from folk instruments and a jazz sound, so to speak.
I associate white culture with rock and roll. I took a very cool class, Music 202, popular music in the United States. It was really cool. And, so I know a lot more about what rock and roll is and where it came from.
Most people would associate it with white music, but I think once you learn about music, you know that black people actually started rock and roll.
I associate rock and roll with black culture, and that's only because I've studied rock and roll.
I have the complex understanding of that Elvis stole it from the black people, and so I'm not sure if I get the underlying question you're asking at, but like contemporary rock and roll is very much a white male industry. Like white people singing black people music.
A white person with soul.
Like Sam Smith. He probably has a lot of blue-eyed soul in him. You know, when he sings, you can hear and feel his soul when he sings. And so, you know, if I had to guess what blue-eyed soul was, I'd say Justin Timberlake, Sam Smith.
Black.
I think they're
Black.
White.
Tina Marie.
Black.
And white.
Sounds pretty black to me.
White.
You see a black person.
Black.
It's black.
That's a black person. By far.
When I feel cold, you warm me. And when I feel I can't go on, you come and hold
White.
White?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me say blue-eyed soul.
White.
Blue-eyed soul person.
White.
That's a white person.
Kiss an angel good morning and love her like the devil when you get back home. Well, people may try to guess.
You got that one black country artist.
White. He's black.
I say white. Just 'cause it sounds like country. Really?
White.
I want to say white, but I'm gonna go black.
He's black.
White.
He's black.
Ah.
You wonder where I've been. I searched to find the love within.
White. White.
White?
Yeah. White. He's white.
Instinct was that they were white.
Sounds black.
Are they black?
That's a black person.
He's white.
No way.
You'd stay forever. So if you must go, darling, I'll say
White.
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 Little Richard and Monto Sally.
Okay, well then indeed.
It'll be classical music.
Dance out.
Soca music.
It would be rock and roll.
Like EDM, soft alternative.
Blues.
My name is Julian Hammett, and I'm an electrical engineer.
My name is John Hoffman. I'm a lecturer in the Communication Studies Department.
Mela Tadlock, major, material science engineering.
I'm Mark Davis, and I'm a mechanical engineering major at the University of Maryland.
My name is Celicia Knights, and I'm a mechanical engineering major.
My name is Donnie Cox, and I'm a kinesiology major.
My name is Devin Kogan, and I'm a mechanical engineering major.
Annette Folgaris, animal science major.
Nina Slowey, middle school math and science education.
Michelle, civil engineering.
My name is Devin Morgan, and I am the graduate administrative coordinator of the Ellicott community.